Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're Malcolm and Rachel, and in June 2024 we went on a 7-day Pacific Island cruise to Vanuatu on the P&O Pacific Encounter. So if you've ever wondered what a cruise experience was like in 2024, stick around because today we're going to do a full review of the things we liked and the things that we didn't like about the cruise.
The P&O Encounter is a great ship, and it's not hard to see why. This was our first cruise on board the P&O Pacific Encounter. We quickly discovered that the ship has something for everyone. So what can you expect from our review? Well, we will cover everything from onboard experience to the food, entertainment, and much more.
All right, so let's go on now to talk a little bit about parking. So we'll take a step back because a lot of people worry about where they're going to park the car and how long they park it for.
Yep.
So we chose to park in the long-term car parking there. It was uncovered, and it was a Wilson car park. We chose car park 3.
Just because it was the cheapest.
Yeah, it was the least expensive, but it was only about a 5-minute walk to the terminal along a concrete path.
Yep.
In wet weather it might not be great,
no.
But you know, it was a perfectly fine day on the day that we did it.
Yep. So the cost for our parking for the week was $83.60 for the 7 days, which was good.
Yeah, and it's a lot cheaper than getting Ubers or taxis because the Brisbane International Cruise Terminal is a fair way out of the main part of Brisbane. So, and it's even a fair way out from the airport. So it's probably worthwhile if you're in Brisbane and you're going on a cruise to use the car parking. So let's start with the boarding experience. So that process was actually a lot smoother than I thought it was going to be. One of the most important things when you get to the Brisbane International Cruise Terminal is that you're cruise ready. And basically that just means having all of your paperwork done, having it all uploaded into the cruise control app, and making sure that you've got photos uploaded as well.
Yep, that's right. So then we quickly went through in probably less than an hour, I think. Yeah. To get through from start to finish, through customs and check-in. It
was really quick, and considering we're talking about boarding 2,500 people, it was really smooth process. Yeah.
Okay, so next up is the muster station. So we would highly recommend that you do that as soon as you get on board the ship.
Definitely.
Just go and get your name marked off, and then you're free to go and start your holiday. So it was a really simple process. They directed us straight there. It was all done in probably less than 5 minutes. So, which was good. Yeah,
and it meant we were able to get on with the job of enjoying the holiday a little bit quicker.
Then we went off and found our cabins. We had 2 cabins that were connecting, so and they were all balcony rooms. The kids were in the 4-bunk connecting one next door. Now we obviously don't need a connecting cabin because our children are adults.
Yeah.
But it was there, it was provided, so we got the door open just for ease of convenience so that we could talk to everyone, and poor old Nana didn't feel like she was just lumped in a room with the kids.
She didn't feel like she was having to babysit them the whole time. We did have a bit of an issue getting the cabin door, the connecting door, unlocked when we first got there. The card they gave us from guest services didn't work, so there's a swipe card that you're supposed to be able to, an extra swipe card that you have to get if you've got a connecting room. That didn't work initially, so we ended up getting somebody, a senior, sort of one of the housekeeping, for want of a better term, to come down, and they were able to unlock it for us.
And all he really did was push on it a few times.
Yeah, all he did was really manhandle the door open. But, you know, it stayed open like that then, and we just chopped the door open. And we had our connecting rooms.
Yeah.
The rooms themselves were really, really great. I mean, they're small, obviously, and obviously the more you pay, the bigger the room you get. But they were really well laid out.
Clean.
They were comfortable. Yep, we were well looked after by the staff. They kept them clean and tidy the whole time through. The bathrooms, you know, they were perfectly, you know, serviceable bathrooms for what you need. You're not in the rooms for very much. If you are, you're probably not on the cruise for the right reason if you spend most of your time in your rooms. And having a balcony was great too, because it was really nice to get outside and see a bit of the ocean, and also
a bit of fresh air.
Yeah, and when we were coming into land, it was nice to be able to have access to be able to see that too.
Okay, so next up was the restaurants. So first up was the pantry. So you see mixed reviews about the pantry, you know, when you read the groups on Facebook and things like that, but I personally didn't mind it. You know, there was a great variety. The food was nice and hot when it needed to be, and we had I think we really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a bit like a food court sort of setup, but the food, good variety of food all the way through. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was super busy though, and it was very hard to get a table.
So one of the downsides,
you know, we did find that if we went right to the very end of the pantry though, there was usually better chance of getting a table rather than in the main part. But the fact that it's all included and you can have as much as you want is fantastic, especially on seafood day. Actually, on seafood day, they tried to limit the prawns to only 3 per bowl, which was a bit disappointing because I love my prawns.
Yeah, so
3 prawns is nowhere near enough.
No, so P&O, don't limit the prawns for people. Certainly when somebody likes her seafood more than anything else,
that's right.
Don't try and limit it, you'll just get yourself in trouble.
Because I feel embarrassed having to go back 20 times just to get my serving of prawns. But anyway, we got there in the end, and they were really delicious.
Yeah. So the next one would be the waterfront. Look, it certainly wasn't our favourite restaurant there.
No, not my favourite.
No.
Breakfast was nice, but if you don't like eggs, which is me, then there wasn't really very much to choose from.
Probably a limited selection of food for breakfasts, and we did have dinner there one night.
We did,
and it was okay.
It was edible, but I don't know. The other restaurants just had nicer selection, I think. So, but the staff were lovely, and the restaurant is a really nice looking restaurant. Especially if you get the nice water seats. And we had a big group of 9, so they had the nice big round tables, which was nice. We could sit together, but probably one that if I was going again, probably wouldn't rush to. So.
No. This one, Dragon Lady. Okay, so anybody who's seen a video of the number of times we were in Dragon Lady, which I think was at least twice. I think I got the name wrong about 5 times in that video. I think I called it Black Dragon a couple of times. My apologies for anybody watching at home who thought, what on earth is going on there? But Dragon Lady was a Chinese restaurant, and it was beautiful. The food there was absolutely spectacular.
Can't fault that one. So we had a great server. Actually, that was where we got our anniversary piece of cake.
That's right, we had our anniversary cake there, which was very lovely of them. The staff again, I think the overarching thing with all of these restaurants is the staff, the servers were absolutely brilliant with 10 out of 10.
And we ate there twice, so we got to eat both menus, which was nice. So
a really good selection of mains and entrees, and the desserts were lovely too. So definitely recommend that one.
Angelo's. Now, Angelo's was probably my top restaurant, I think.
Really? Yeah.
Yes, I did. I love the food. Now, I don't like eating fish, but I chose to eat a piece of barramundi, and it was really, really nice. I think it just aesthetically looks pretty in that restaurant, and the whole 3-course meal was really, really good.
It's really lovely food. I think I might have had the lasagna there from memory. But I know a couple of the other guys in our group did have the lasagna, and I don't think anybody had a meal that was something they didn't enjoy.
No, and we also booked the high tea at Angelo's as well, which I would highly recommend. It went for an hour, and we had a lovely selection of cakes and scones. Came with a free glass of champagne. We sat by the window, and we even managed to watch a lovely couple get engaged. So
there we go. So
it was really good. I really would recommend Angelo's high tea if you get a chance.
Definitely one to go to. So the next one is Luke's Bar and Grill. So this is the Luke Mangan restaurant, and it was the one we went on for dinner for our sail away night, and that was just the adults went to this one.
Even though the kids are adults, but
even though the kids are adults, we didn't bring them because we didn't bring them. So sorry, kids. It was absolutely beautiful. The food was brilliant. What you would expect from a restaurant with the name Luke Mangan behind it, and again, servers were absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, definitely recommend booking that. If you go on sail away night, they had the special which also included not only the food, but we got a voucher then to go to Luke's Burger.
Yeah, we each
Burger
got
and Grill?
a burger. Yeah, the burger.
Luke's Burger,
which is out on the one of the pool decks.
Yeah.
That give us a
free voucher for a burger and chips, basically. So, which was about $18 worth.
And we all took advantage of that. It was really, really good. Yeah. All right. So the next one is the P&O
Say it for us, Malcolm.
Trattoria.
Not the La Trattoria.
Not the La Trattoria. Again,
Trattoria,
the
that's what you were
Trattoria, I think
calling
I called it a couple of
Trattoria.
times. P&O Trattoria, which is the pizza restaurant. Which
The Italian.
The Italian pizza restaurant. I really, really like this. The pizzas there were really nice. That was our Gatsby night.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. It was. Yep. Again, prawn pizza for me. No surprise there.
Yeah. And I think everybody really enjoyed the food there. It was lovely.
Yeah, definitely recommend. And it was not even that expensive, actually. You know, for I think the pizzas were only about maybe $12, $15, something like that.
I don't think they were very expensive at all.
Our tip would be not to get an individual pizza, as they recommend. It was way too much food.
Yeah.
We didn't eat it all.
Unless you're a really big eater. If you're a big eater, absolutely fill your boots and get a full size pizza. But if you're not a big one, you could definitely do them as shared. Yeah, absolutely. So the last one that we're going to talk about is one of my personal favourites, and that's the Bonded Store. And that's a small speakeasy type bar right up at the bow of the ship, behind one of the main theatres where they do the bingo.
Casino? Behind the casino.
Yeah, you've got to walk through the casino and then you get to the Bonded Store, and then the other side of the Bonded Store is the one of the theatres that has the show 7 in it, and they do the bingo in it. But the Bonded Store, like I said, it's like a little smoky little speakeasy place. Specialises in having gin tastings, which Christy and I, Rachel's cousin Christy and I, went to. And it was really, really nice. It was $27, I think, for the
25.
So $25 for the gin tasting. Had 7 gins to taste, and had a really knowledgeable bartender who was running it. And it was really, really nice. It was lovely. The rest of the cocktails there, though, they are really nice. There are a lot of gin-based ones, but some bourbon and rum-based ones, and some other vodka-based ones too.
We actually enjoyed that so much. I think we went there nearly every night.
Yeah, we might have gone
Once
back
we
there.
found it, I think we went nearly every night before dinner.
Yeah, we may well have, and it rekindled my love for the old-fashioned cocktail, which was very, very nice, and certainly enjoyed those while we were there.
Yes, you did.
All right, so next on the list is entertainment, and I'm going to start this one. I'm going to let Rach go through a few of the other ones because I'm going to talk about the one topic that I spent most of my time talking about on that is the putt-putt competition. For those of you that are following along and have seen the other videos, yes, I did jointly win the putt-putt competition. It was a bit of fun. I did say to my mates that it's now the only place I can putt is at sea on a ship with that's moving side to side
and left-handed.
So the left-handed one was when I seemed to do the best. So it was really good. But apart from the golf, they had heaps of game shows, famous faces type game shows. There were some
lots of trivia
based ones.
The married one, whatever that was called.
Oh yeah, it was one where they got married couples up and they send the females go into a room and they ask the males some questions, and then the males they swap over, and it's about trying to see who can get the most correct. And it was quite entertaining, especially the slightly more adult answers from the older couple who ended up winning it. So well done to them.
That's right. Then we also brought tickets to Blanc de Blanc.
Yes,
they were
speaking of adults.
$30 a ticket. We all went except for Liam because he's under 18, so he could not come. And what a pleasant surprise that was. So I decided that, let's go and get in early so we can get a front row seat, so without knowing really what the show is about. And yes, we certainly saw the whole show.
It's a show that isn't just on the P&O Encounter. It's actually, I've discovered since we've come back, that it's a show that's actually like a cabaret type show, which has tours around Australia as well. So we got the abridged version of it on the ship, but it's quite an adult show. Definitely very much an adult show, but very entertaining. Some contortionists in there, some physical entertainers in there as well.
Well, let's just say Jay thought she was booking an acrobatic show. It was definitely acrobatic, but
if you are
poor Annika.
if you're the least
The
bit
look on her
concerned
face.
about partial nudity, I probably wouldn't go and see it. But the entertainers were brilliant. They kept the vibe of the show up. Was high energy the whole way through.
Yeah.
And they were very, very entertaining.
That's right. And poor old Jeff that got called out from the audience.
Oh yeah, Jeff.
And picked on.
I don't know how you made it through that entire show. Don't ever get the tickets that give you the VIP seats, which are very much right in the front row. Jeff will tell you why.
Okay, so next up was bingo. We went and played bingo a couple of times.
Quite a few times we played bingo.
Now, here's our tip. Don't waste your money on the paper bingo cards, because after we did that, we realised that everyone that was winning was using the electronic laptops.
So have little iPads that you can use. Definitely spend the money if you want to. If you want to win, if you're just there for a bit of fun and you don't care whether you win or not, get yourself a little dabber, get a paper ticket, and just have a bit of fun. But if you want to try and win some money out of it, you definitely need to get in early and get the iPads. Yeah.
So many more chances, and it's actually quite fun. We ended up playing the electronic bingo again the next day, which was a lot more entertaining. So go
definitely.
electronic all the way. So the staff on board the ship, our cruise director was Michelle, and Nathan was her backup, I think, or whatever you call him. Second in charge.
He was second in charge, and they were brilliant.
They were fantastic. Couldn't fault them, and they just, every activity they were at, and they just had so much energy, and I don't know where they get all their energy from.
I don't know where they get it from, but they were super enthusiastic for the entire trip, and made it from day one to day 7. They were brilliant the whole way through, and so were all of the other staff and crew, like the rest of the cruise director staff, the entertainment staff, the servers. Everybody was absolutely brilliant. Nothing was ever a problem for them, and nobody was ever upset about it being asked for stuff. It was really, really good.
Mystery Island. So we didn't actually do any shore excursions on Mystery Island. There was nothing really that was of interest, so we decided to spend the day on the beach under the umbrellas and had a nice walk around the island.
We did a bit of a walk, and I think you would have seen that video as well about our walk and tour around there. It's it's a postage stamp of a little island in the middle of the Pacific, but it was a really nice way to break up the cruise, to get off, help the local population by spending a little bit of money on there. But otherwise, it was really good. Really enjoyed that.
Then the next day we went to Port Vila. We did do some excursions there. So the kids went off and did their aquaquad safari on their not so aquaquad. They were expecting fast jet skis, and they were a little bit disappointed they weren't fast jet skis, but they did thoroughly enjoy the
loved
tour.
It, and from the video that we saw later on, they had a great time on them, and they got to see a little bit more of the island, and go a bit of a spin around the island with the rest of that tour. And while they were doing that, we were off basically wandering through the markets and seeing the sights of downtown Port Vila.
And we did go to the Gaston chocolate shop, I think it's called, for a coffee, which had some really nice coffee and cakes. Some lovely pastries were really nice there. And it's across the road from one of the main duty-free shops in town as well, which was really, really good. And then the last one we did was Blue Lagoon. Oh, Blue Lagoon.
Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, that was great.
And as you saw from the video, we really enjoyed that. We did a tour that included the Blue Lagoon, the cultural village, and the chocolate making facility up in the hills. And I would really highly recommend that you look to do a tour like that. Our tour guide was fantastic. The tour bus driver was driving like a lunatic. But it was very safe.
Yeah.
It was just having not been in a car for a few days, getting in a bus and having somebody hurtle down the back streets of Port Vila was a bit entertaining.
Well, having been to Port Vila before, I knew that they drove like that, but it'd been a while.
Yeah, so we really enjoyed that. It was great. The Blue Lagoon was absolutely beautiful, as you would have seen from the video. The cultural village, again, that was brilliant. It was lovely to see how they have lived and in some places do live. And the chocolate making factory was really nice too, and the chocolate itself was beautiful, very tasty.
My only thing that I didn't like about the tour was that it was just incredibly rushed. So we only had probably 4 hours to do all of that. Took 45 minutes or so to get to the Blue Lagoon, and then he said we only had 30 minutes there. By the time we got down there, got in the water, got up the courage to jump off and swing in, the time was nearly done. So
it did.
And then he was getting us out of the water to have afternoon tea because that was included. So we only really had about 5 minutes to eat the afternoon tea as well. So, and then we had to drive to the cultural village. The whole thing was actually just a little bit rushed. That would be my only negative. Though. It's still fantastic, and I'd still probably book it again.
Oh, definitely, but it's nicer if you've got a little bit more time so that you can really go and see, different parts of it and
especially
have
if you've
a wander
got young
around the
kids
village
as well.
Yeah.
Like the Blue Lagoon, 30 minutes, even with young family, it's just nowhere near enough time. So, but it was great all the same.
Yes, we loved it. Right, let's talk about the drink packages. So, the drink packages, so you might want to explain what one we actually selected.
Well, we didn't select. Our tickets actually came with complimentary, top of the range drink packages that was fully inclusive of everything, basically. Yeah. So now we're not huge drinkers, so if it didn't come with the drink package, I probably wouldn't have purchased it, just knowing that I wouldn't get value out of it. But once we had it, we certainly worked it as best we could.
we made the most of it, that was for sure.
Those Toblerone cocktails were worth it.
Gave us access to all the cocktails that they made. I think it was up to a limit of $20. If they were over $20, then you had to pay for them.
Yeah.
But that's 90% of the cocktails on the ship were, under that $20 mark. So it was definitely worthwhile.
We did buy Annika the mocktail package. She doesn't drink alcohol really at all. So she thought she'd like the mocktail package. It was a complete waste. The mocktails were not very nice.
No,
there was really nothing that she liked on the menu, and they wouldn't make her any virgin cocktails at any of the other bars. So next time I probably wouldn't bother with that and just go with maybe just a soft drinks package, which is what Liam had, and that was good for him because he could, get a soft drink if he wanted one at lunch or dinner.
Yeah, he could get a coffee, he could get a hot chocolate,
Didn't need to pay for it. So,
it was definitely worthwhile for us for the drinks package, but not the mocktail package. Wouldn't recommend it. So let's talk about disembarkation. So we elected to have our suitcases collected the night before so that we didn't have to drag them downstairs and bring them with us. So that made everything go fairly smoothly. What probably was the most challenging part of it was the wait. They disembark you in groups, and you select which groups you're in. We were in group. Don't really remember which one we were in, but it was a later one, not super early.
No, it was an early one.
Oh, it was?
It was, because what the customer service basically said, book the earliest ticket you can to get off, so your bags go off first, and then take your time so that by the time you get off, your bags will be waiting. So our bags were definitely there waiting.
So by the time we came out and got into the cruise terminal, the bags were all sitting there waiting to go.
I think on that day there was some hiccup with the Brisbane port, which held everything up, which I guess caused a lot of people to perhaps be a little bit unhappy about having to wait. But personally, I don't find it a problem. We set up in the pantry. We had an extra long breakfast.
Yeah, it wasn't
when
too
we
bad.
got off, it really didn't take that long. Maybe I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes at best.
Look,
we
longest
did wait
part
in
was-
some lines,
yeah.
but our bags were there, and
Yeah.
we basically just walked out from there.
Yeah.
So
it was basically the longest part was standing in queues, which, when you're on a ship like that with 2,500 people on it, you're going to have to stand in queues.
that's right.
So to wrap up, overall, we had an incredible cruise. The amenities, the food, the entertainment, they're all top notch, and the staff really make you feel like you're part of the family. If you're considering going on a cruise, I would definitely recommend checking this one out. You won't regret it. So we would love to hear from you. If you've been on a P&O cruise or on the Encounter, what did you think about it? Drop a comment in the comments section below. And if you've enjoyed the review, don't forget to check out all of our other cruise videos. We've got a whole pile of them already pre-prepared for you. And we show you all the things there that we did on a day-by-day basis on the cruise. If you've liked the video, please click the like button, hit subscribe so that you get, and hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time we upload another video. That'll really help us because it'll help us to grow the channel. But otherwise, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, and see you again soon.